We talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests. With two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes, Sitting and Chatting.
Hello and welcome back to the Sitting and Chatting podcast. I'm Whyte.
I'm Thayjamieallan.
Jabba, how you doing? You look quite tired.
Well, that's what it is. Nah, I'm all good. Just fucking usual pish, working and then sitting in the house and then working while being in the house. It's just a lot of the house,
Well, I've got some good news for you. Well,
Right.
potentially. As of Monday, grips of football will be allowed again.
That's true. I did see that.
So hopefully we can maybe get back playing again. For those wondering, we used to play quite regularly for about 3 to 5 months before the wonderful COVID happened.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right, no surrender the corpse of Bender and all that, COVID bastard. But
never 6-a-side again, no. I want 5-a-sides in a cage.
nah, I mean, to be honest, it'll just be a bunch of us. After that shenanigans last time, fuck that for a game of giggles. Just
do you know what, right? What we should do is we should find like a pensioners league, make sure, and just join that one instead.
We'll forge our fucking passports. Say we're like 90.
Spray paint our hair grey every week.
Aye, well, that should be sorted. No, I do look forward to it. Hopefully Monday kind of come quick enough, and then
I know
we can organise something. No bother at all.
Yeah. Anyway, well, moving on. I mean, unless you've been living under a rock all week, there's really only been I suppose 2 stories, but it's really merged into one at this point. The Prince Harry, Meghan Markle interview. Now, I want to get your honest opinion on something, because although I always chat shit and joke that you like the Queen's arse, what's your actual take on the whole thing? Couldn't care less, couldn't care, but you still like the royal family, or what's your take?
They need to get it sorted. There's only one man that can sort it. Jeremy Kyle.
That would be elite. See, that's where they went wrong. They went for Oprah, where they should have got Jeremy Kyle.
Meghan v the Queen 1v1 and Rust. That's another one. That has to happen. Do you know? No, something, but it's a bit of fuss. You should just get to private, get it sorted, and fucking shut the fuck up. And it's the best way to put it. But at the same time, it's brought exposure to the UK, which is probably just a stunt, to be honest, to get publicity and make money.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest on this. Couldn't care less. But I didn't watch the full interview. I'd be lying if I said I watched clips on it because I know it can be fucked, because it doesn't really interest me that much. What I will say though is also, you're saying, sit down shop and talk about it in private. And I think for most of these situations, that would be the best way to go about it. But do you think maybe because obviously in the last few years, the things with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein and all that sort of thing, do you think that's maybe an important reason why they brought it more to the public eye as someone on the inside?
Could be. I mean, you date back to the whole Diana situation, and she was the first person to really come in and say that, there is corruption within the royal family. I'm an outsider, I'm not accepted, and then boom, next thing you know, she's dead. The world we live in has got bad people, although we don't see it all the time. And this royal family has got power beyond power that people don't know, that me and you don't know. Do you know what I mean? I could sit here and make up stories like they could kill people and get away with it. I honestly don't know. But if you could sit here and honestly say that Princess Diana's situation doesn't, have the smallest bit of inkling as to it was the royal family behind it, I mean, you're delusional, because they were behind it, or there was something to do with it in some sense. And you date back to that interview, that was the first public aired interview that was against the royal family, and they were dealt with in the manner in which they felt necessary, and it was get rid of her.
Because if you talked out about them before in ye old times, you'd be like beheaded or some shit like that.
So obviously, Diana's time, it wasn't as bad as that, but it was. You knew that was what was. You knew they were behind it. And then you date to the times nowadays where the Prince Andrew situation and stuff. That shit just seems normal in modern situations. Like nowadays, that shit's spoke about freely and frequently, if you will, and it's horrifying. But with this, it's again somebody being married into the family that just doesn't get on with the Queen and get it sorted privately, because otherwise you're getting your fucking head shot. It's as simple as that.
I mean,
honestly, 6 weeks for now, Meghan Markle's getting shot.
Yeah, but if that happens as well, and I mean, I don't think folk can argue that, because obviously, the stuff with Diana, okay, it's obvious to you and me as it might look to a royal fanatic. They might say something like, oh, there's no definitive proof, even though there kind of is. If she was well and truly like whacked at this point, there's no fucking denying it. You can't ignore that anymore.
If she snubs it, put it this way, it's a royal family behind it. Yeah, but I doubt that'll happen though. That's it's a long shot. Especially she's not even in the country, they're no issue. So
I mean, America, very easy to
it could benefit the Queen, to be fair.
Honestly, knowing the Ronins over there, they'll probably just see her and just shoot her because she's of her skin colour, most likely.
It's an odd situation, but I think you should have kept private. And if you're going to marry into a family like that, you've got to know the consequences that come with it. I mean, Diana, see the difference between Diana. She was a sweetheart in the UK. Like, everybody loved her, and she wanted people to be happy, and she wanted the best for everybody.
Yeah.
And that wasn't how the royal family operated. Whereas, like, the difference between Meghan is she's a model. Like, go do your model stuff and don't. She
was pretty good actor on Suits. I liked her in Suits.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just go do your own thing.
I think that's kind of what she is going to do. I'd be surprised if she didn't go and do modelling or acting again, sort of thing. It'd be because obviously I think they said like once you sign into that, you can no longer do any of that shit. But they're out now, and they've not got the royal title anymore, so they're fine. No, but moving on from that, there was one particular person that was quite angry about all of this, wasn't in the royal family. Your big mate Piers Morgan.
Mm-hmm. What a lad. I know. I'm actually great to appreciate some of his comments.
You said something that kind of struck with me the last time we spoke about him, which was he's a necessary evil. Which, in the way that, although I entirely don't agree with it, I can see what you mean in the sense of just like we need someone to hate, whether it be a Katie Hopkins, whether it be a Piers Morgan, whoever, Nigel Farage.
I wouldn't agree with Katie Hopkins, whatever the fuck her name is, but Piers, the difference between the two is Piers speaks facts. It's maybe shit you don't want to hear, but 90% of the time he speaks facts, and he could fabricate some stuff. But in regards to, like, see the whole idea, the ideology behind going back to being the whole gender fluid situation, like, every time he speaks on that, it's pure facts, and he's right in every sense of it. I hate the bastard, but he's right in every sense of it. And whether you agree with being able to identify yourself as whatever you want, or you don't agree with it, he does clearly not agree with the companies changing their 50-year tradition of being Mr. Potato Head and then going on to something else. That clearly gets to him. So then when he puts a statement out like that,
yeah, but that was a fucking did you not see what that actually was at the end?
What?
The fucking Mr. Potato Head then.
What do you mean, see what it was?
Well, so like everyone, all your EDL like skinhead lads are going like, taking away Mr. Potato Head, Great British institution, all that pish, because they definitely care about who the fuck Mr. Potato Head is. Right. He was, I thought we brought this up, maybe we didn't, but it's not they're changing the name of Mr. Potato Head. The company itself was called Mr. Potato Head. So they've just changed the company to
Yeah,
Potato
you
Head.
can still buy Mr. Potato Head. You can still buy Miss Potato Head.
Miss it. So it's not like they changed the gender of it.
I still don't agree with it though. Like, just keep your company name, keep your tradition. Like, it's what you built your foundation on.
What does it matter, though?
Right, see 10 years down the line, say we're fucking thriving and sitting chatting, which we will be, and because sitting, right, and we're not standing, say that becomes a movement where you're allowed to be standing and chatting rather than sitting and chatting. Would you change your name? No, you would keep it on the principle of this was what we built from the ground up. So why change it just because gender?
No, I don't think that. I just think it makes internally. I think it makes a bit of sense. If you sell more than one product that isn't under that name, I think it makes fair enough sense.
It was under that alias for a reason, though. Like, that was.
Yeah, because he's the most popular brand or the most popular toy. It was built
on that. It was built on the foundation of the man rules the house. He provides food. He goes out and works. That's how it's been for years and years and years.
Yeah, but it's not that anymore. Not really, not anymore.
No, it's not. Females can make more money than males now. It's perfectly normal, but that's fine. But don't change what you built for the ground up just because you want to appease the rioters. And that's all it is. It's not because they want to become gender fluid. It's fuck all to do with that. It's just they want to appease people.
Oh, I thought it was more a PR stunt. I think they knew exactly what they were doing. They were going to get folk riled up. And they're just like, yeah, fuck it. No one's ever fucking mentioned a Mr. Potato Head since Toy Story came out. Let's get them talking about it.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I mean, though. It's like to appease people in a marketing stunt. 100%.
Okay, right.
But they're appeasing, the gender fluid movement, if you will. They're appeasing them. So there's one box tick. People are talking about it. There's 2 boxes ticked. People are buying it. There's 3 boxes ticked. Like you're sorted. You're constantly going to be in the growth. So yes, it's a PR stunt, but at the same time, it was.
But it's one that worked.
It's one that worked, and it was to appease that bracket of people. But you can change whatever you want. But when he came out and said.
Well, either way, we're getting off topic.
When he came out and said all that stuff, 100% backed him all the way. I just thought, you know what, you're actually speaking the truth. Why do we need to change for this, and this? The same as, I've seen plenty of videos where he's been totally wrong in everything he said. But I do believe that he's required in our society in order to speak up and say what he believes, whether it's right or wrong, because everybody's entitled to opinion. The difference is don't do it on live television in front of millions of people.
Oh yeah, here's the thing though, right? Yes, okay, you are entitled to your opinions. I'm totally fine with that. But the issue is though, right? He's the face of a news network, Now, no matter if, obviously ITV will want the ratings, that's the main thing they always go for in any TV company. And I get with him being controversial, that's what gets the ratings on. You get folk like you and me talking about it and other people talking about it. However, at the end of the day, I don't think he actually believes, I think he believes in a lot of the stuff that he says, right? But I think he always overhypes it for the camera, if you get what I mean. He never plays on neutrality, which, fair enough, if you run something like you and me do here, a podcast, that's fine. But for a news company, it's a bit different. And that's why I think he was a good interviewer in the past, because he was able to bring his opinions into things and able to sort of speak his mind, not be a robotic question and answer sort of person. Yeah. But like the example I'm thinking of is, you mind, I think it was last year with the whole vegan sausage roll pish that he was like, this is disgusting, what's the point in this? It's just like, and
he overhyped that massively.
Yeah, and like he tried that and he did the bullshit of like spitting out, pretending he was going to be sick. Like, fuck off. You can, if he was blindfolded and they put 2 of them in front of him, he would not be able to tell the difference.
I'll tell you something, I prefer the vegan sausage rolls as well. That's the worst of it.
Like, that's the thing. Like, he overhypes everything to camera because he knows that him doing that will get the views, and him being controversial makes people talk about him, which we've walked straight into, and this is what he wants. And I mean, he obviously walked off. He walked off the set. Did you see the thing where he said how he was mates with Meghan Markle, and he's claiming to be the one that introduced the pair. What a load of shit, man. I'm not denying that maybe he went to like the pub or whatever, but he's like, I'm responsible for setting them up. Like, mate, you told him to go to a party. Like,
that's it. That's him in his controversial side again. He's just stirring up shit. He's good at what he does, but he's a prick.
Yeah, and the one other thing that I wanted to talk about, obviously, like, so for those that don't know, he's been kicked off his morning show on ITV, STV. Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? So he walked off, yeah. But did you see the clip beforehand, which I actually thought was worse than like what he was walking off for? No. Like, so he opens the show. He's like, it's like 6:30 in the morning, right? It's like, good morning. It's a wonderful summer's day. And I want to, and the first thing he says is, by the way, have you noticed how short such and such skirt is? And like the camera just pans to her straight away. And you see like how fucking uncomfortable she is about it. And she's like, what's wrong with wearing a skirt? And he's just like, yeah, stand up and do a twirl, basically. And she's like, it's just a skirt. Like, what's the deal? It's like, yeah, but it's like the show of the sign of summer. And she was like, yeah, but I don't see how that's exactly newsworthy, trying to move on. And he's like, well, I'm allowed to look. I'm just like, oh, piss off, you prick. Like, the fact, like, I thought genuinely he was going to get away with that as well. It's just like, oh, there's so many things wrong with that and everything else he does. But, good on him for walking. But I mean, as I said to you before we just started, he was definitely going to get sacked or moved on if it wasn't for him walking off.
No, he'll be back, whether it's in the same capacity or on a different show or whatever, he'll be back.
I wonder if he'll go to America.
No, he'll be accepted in America. That's the difference. He would be accepted over there in the terms of his controversial speaking. Yeah. But at the same time, he'll probably get shot. So
that's the thing I was going to say, because that one of the few points I agree with him on is like his stance with gun violence over there. And like how he detests guns and gun violence and all that, which, fair enough if you like your guns. But I mean, you can clearly see they have a problem in America. So you're probably right. You probably would get shot if you went back. Right.
You don't like the guns, no bother. We'll use one to fucking end you. Right, 100%. But I don't know. I've seen a thing that like an inkling that he was going on the Late Late Show with James Corden.
Another Brit that's well hated at this point.
Well, so that was interesting, but it was rumoured. But I don't know what he'll do. But to be honest, his role's perfect for what he is, a prick. So
he should honestly just do a podcast. It would be perfect for him.
He'll not make money though.
No, are you kidding me? He does like a Patreon service. Do you know how much money he'd fucking boost off that with Nutters being like, yes, I agree with everything blindly that you say. Fuck the man. And then he could say whatever the fuck he wanted without getting cancelled.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know. Personally, I think if I was him, that would be my next move. But
personally, I'd just do myself in if I were you. I mean, fuck him. Day selling in this story.
I do miss the days where you used to daily insult Piers Morgan on Twitter. That used to be like, that was always my favourite part of the day, was just checking Twitter to see what.
I always got banned though, so.
I know, but I was just always like, I wonder what insult he's throwing at him now.
No, I had to give up because I always got banned, so I just gave up with it. True. I just unfollowed him, I think, and just left it at that, but I still go on and check. I'm partially going on and view to see what he's put up. And I just constantly spit in the comments. Like, fuck.
I do actually want to, you've brought up a memory of mine now. Like, fucking hell, like football. I mean, don't get me wrong, Liverpool's doing bad. It's ruined it for me, but fucking football Twitter, I think, is the worst part of any social media site that has ever existed.
At the moment, aye.
No, not even for that. Like, even when we were winning, you just see the fucking. Like, I'm not a smart guy, as you know, and I don't want this to come across as an ego thing, right? But I'd say I'm fairly knowledgeable in football, as are you. We watch enough of it to know. But then you just see some brain dead fucking morons where, you know, like if a certain player hasn't scored 5 million goals in one season or never made a mistake, like they instantly get slated. You know, football's such like a fickle thing that just like that, you lose all your respect on a social media platform, which is mental. Just like the abuse cunts get on that.
It's mind-blowing, to be fair, but it's I found it's just the movements that they my tits in. So like Rangers won the league obviously, and then all the fans feel like Tottenham, Everton, Liverpool, Man U, all of them are flooding into like the Rangers Twitter and going, Celtic were robbed of the title. Celtic were robbed of the title. It was funny. No, but it was clearly just trying to wind up. Aye, and I just found that as like I found it just irritating as fuck. I was like, why am I a part of a footballing community that waste their time going into other people's posts and doing this? It's like, grow up, we're fucking go to the games, support your team, watch the games for the house while the COVID's going on, and grow the fuck up. But it didn't bother me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, how could they say we didn't win the title? Like, what the fuck? Like, I couldn't give a fuck. We're 55-time champions. I don't give a fuck. But it was the movements. I'm just thinking to myself, I thought football fans were better than this. It's an embarrassment.
Weirdly, though, I actually think he's done. I think because he's had Steven Gerrard as manager, I think that helped in your favour in a weird way, if you get me. Like, see if say it was Ali McCoist in charge, or see if it was anyone else in charge. I think you'd get more folk complaining, if you get what I mean. But because Gerrard's well liked by a lot of English fans, not just like Liverpool fans, I think that helped you in some way, if you get me. But
I enjoyed the slip memes though. The memes of him slipping were funny. It was like him slipping and then teleporting back up and going, no this time, bitch. And then it was just like, what the fuck?
But yeah, go on. We'll talk about this because obviously about 2 months ago, I think we chatted about it, and you said also you're still nervous, but you expected to win it. You know, how did it feel? How did the day feel when it was confirmed?
It was good, aye. I mean, it was on Sunday last week. Dundee were playing Celtic, and I just woke up with a small feeling. I was like, you know what, the day is going to be the day. Did it
annoy you more that you didn't do it yourself, or was it like a lover?
No. I could not give a fuck. It was my grand's. So my grand that passed away a couple of years ago. It was her birthday on Sunday, and I was like, I've just got a feeling it's going to be the day, special day. We're going to win 55, and I don't know. I was watching the Celtic game with my dad, and I was like, you know something, this game is just crying out for a draw, and I was like, and then obviously I think one each one they scored, and then
I thought it was 0-0.
No. Oh no, aye. So Celtic scored, they got ruled offside, and I was like, oh shit, actually, here we go. And then Dundee hit the post, and then like towards the end of the game, it was like 3 minutes to go. I was like, fuck sake, we are 3 minutes away. And then it was like 5 minutes added time. I was like, we're fucking 5 minutes away. Then it was so nerve-wracking at that point, and I don't know why, because the title was in the bag. But
if it wasn't that game, it would be the next.
Exactly, or the next. You know what I mean, it wasn't something that was worrying me, but it was like at that moment, on the day that it was, because obviously it was, my mum. It was a special day for my mum. I was like, this would be good.
Yeah.
And then obviously they got the draw. Dundee, that is obviously. And we won it there, and it was amazing. I jumped a bit like a fucking fanny. And then I was a bit tipsy after it, so it was
really.
So no, it was good.
I couldn't guess.
It was enjoying it, but you know something, as great as the season's been, what I'm most excited about is the fact that it's still not over. Like the European run is exciting me just as much as winning the 55th title is, because I genuinely think, I don't know if you've seen the score last night or if you've seen
1-1, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I think honestly we've got an away goal. We go to Ibrox. Say we get by them. I honestly think we can go through the next round as well, depending on who we got, of course. I've just got a feeling that this season is going to be the year that we do something massive. I can't see us winning it, I'll not lie to you, because the teams that are left in there are just like, ridiculous. Like Ajax winning 3-0 yesterday, and then Man U drawing with 1-1 with AC Milan. Like I genuinely think if AC Milan can get a win, I think Rangers could beat AC Milan.
Yeah.
In the current form, do I think we could beat Man U? Probably no. But I think
if you did, trust me, I'd be the biggest Rangers fan that night.
I think we could beat Arsenal as well on our day, but it's dependent. Do you know what I mean? It's ifs and buts, but at the same time, it's I'm excited for the European run. That's the part that's keeping me going there now, because although the title we've not lifted it yet, we've still got 2 Old Firms to go. When you say it like that, it's like still got a lot to look forward to. But
do you think you'll go undefeated this year?
Probably not. It's dependent on our European run. So if we get past Slavia Prague on Thursday, we'll go into Sunday and we'll beat Celtic.
When was the last time you've done a clean sweep in the Old Firm? Has that ever happened, or do you know?
No, no teams ever. Celtic done it in 2018, I think. They never lost a game. They never won off, but they never lost.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know if it's actually been done. But it's to be honest, if we can win all 4 Old Firms and get beat off Hamilton, I'll not be arsed. But I don't know. To be honest, I can't see us getting beat for now at the end of the season. But at the same time, Europe's what I'm most excited for. Slavia Prague's a good team. Did you see that? You hear the stats for Slavia Prague last night?
Nah, I didn't watch the game. I just
so they've not been beat at home in 2 years. No. And the last 3 teams to beat them at home was Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Inter Milan. And we were walking into that, and it's like, all right, fair enough. And we had our chances to win the game, but we took a draw away. So
I take it they didn't have fans, but
I had 500 fans. I know.
I did that. Yeah. Well, I mean, they knocked out Leicester in the previous round.
They're not a team to be fucking.
I'm pretty sure they bet Liverpool 2-0 in the year we won the Champions League, the most recent one.
No, was that no Sparta Prague? Maybe
it was. I can't remember which one it was.
But
I think it might.
They're a good outfit, mate, and they've got that statue, the Romanian boy. He's like really good. Their left winger Sima's worth £50 million and stuff. So it's like, you're in Europe when you're fucking playing teams like that. But nah, it's exciting, and hopefully we can get past the second leg.
No, look, you've done well, and I do commiserate you. And I'll be honest, if it wasn't for the fact I was mates with you, I couldn't care less that you won the title. But I'll be honest, it was nice to see you do it, because I am sick of the dominance in Scottish football. Because let's be honest, as close as Aberdeen got, some years we were never going to do it. So I'm glad you actually came up and actually took them off it.
No, I'm glad. I can assure you. But if we get to the final with the Europa League, that's different gravy. That
that's the final this year. Do you know?
Gdansk.
I mean, obviously by that time there probably won't be fans anyway. But unfortunately,
there won't be fans. But Champions League, League's what I look forward to next year. That's
better fuck. Oh, actually, no, you just get automatic qualification next year, don't you?
No, we play 2 qualifiers. I think. No, 1 qualifier. One qualifier.
Don't fuck up.
No, if we get in and get into group stages, I'll take a 3rd place in the group stages by far.
Well, just wait, because for every Scottish team that does it, you'll get the group of death if you do manage to go through.
Oh, of course.
It means great nights away, but it also means that you're going to get shafted at some point.
No, but to be fair, I mean, if we go to Celtic's group like last year or the year before, where they go like AC Milan and then they go 2 absolute donkeys, if we go to that group, we would have topped that, like, in our current form. But no, enough for Rangers, because I've got a boner here.
There's one thing I did want to bring up, and I don't want to focus on the negatives too much because it's mostly a positive thing. But obviously, you were actually sensible when it came to the celebration, but many others weren't.
No, exactly.
What was your take on it as a fan of them?
I think we deserved to celebrate.
Oh yeah, I don't deny you deserved it.
I think it was probably, was it done in the wrong manner? 100%. Was it ever going to be avoided? No. And if you could honestly sit here and tell me that if the tables were turned and it was 10 in a row that were celebrating, they would have been at Parkhead.
Oh yeah.
So, do I regret everything I've shared on Facebook to display my protest against the people that are delusional, who have forgot about the fact that there's been protests from Celtic fans, there's been protests for Black Lives Matter. Whether it's right or wrong what you protest for, doesn't matter. Nobody should be at the house, follow the guidelines.
I will say, like, look, I don't want this to come across as like I'm solely blaming Rangers fans, because we talked about it when Celtic were fannying about after the Ross County game. We talked about from our perspectives when Liverpool won the league. I've also been there. It's not actually hasn't been there, but my fan base has been there. Your fan base has been there before, so I don't want it to come across like I'm just battering Rangers for the sake of it. Nah. I do think he's fucked up in a way, but like it's not good.
As to the rest, as in Liverpool, they fucked up when they went out.
Yeah,
and something. I was more disgusted at the Liverpool fans. Not that it makes it any right, like any better or whatever, but basically when the Liverpool fans were doing it, that was prime COVID. Like that was first time around prime COVID. It was bad. Whereas see Rangers doing it, people had started getting vaccinations. It's easing up. Doesn't make it any better, but there's if you look at every dark cloud,
I will say now though, I am particularly worried for the start of next week because, well, as we talked about at the start, there's new benefits coming to new benefits to fucking lockdown. I couldn't think of the word there. So like, in Scotland, for example, like I said, we could go outside and play football, which, considering the last, when I come back from Jersey, 3 months now, the only thing I've done with my mates is walk round. I'm delighted for that. I am worried now though that if there's going to be another spike because of that, and they just say, "Yeah, no, you fucked it inside again for another few months," I will fucking greet if that happens.
No, but I think we're always going to be stuck in this situation unless we go out and do it. I still think it's too early. Personally, I really do. I think so. Retail stores can go back on the 26th of April. That's too early.
That's everything as well. It's not. It's not every. No. So like everything starts to. So for those confused, if you've seen all the memes for the UK, like the 21st is when like everything's open and primed. Like that's when like nightclubs will be open and all that. So like
no social distance, nothing.
Yeah, no social distance and everything's back to normal. However,
which, by the way, it's never going to happen. So don't get your hopes up for anybody listening.
Well, big Boris is fucking trying to claim, I'm going to host every single European game, which I'm like, you are really confident on this, aren't you? However, if people actually look in depth into it, they can also see that the government furlough scheme is extended until September. So do you think everything's still going to be open? But the reason, but yeah, in Scotland, so like it's going up slowly. So Monday's when the new restrictions come out for us. You can do more stuff outside with folk. I was unfortunately trying to see when we can do the podcast in person, but I think that's the 5th of April. We have to wait till. But then that'll be you. We can't do a guest, but that'll be you and me at least. We'll finally be back to that.
What happens on the 5th of April? Are you allowed one other person?
Yeah, one other person indoors.
That's fucking so odd, isn't it?
So we can do the podcast together again, which will be nice, but for the guests will be fucking on Zoom still.
Yeah.
But every silver lining. And then on the 26th, as you said, everything opens again, but it's like the beginning stages open. So like they sound like pubs and hairdressers will be open, but it'll be like, you can go to the pub with like 2 people or something like that, or you can
appointment based and stuff.
Yeah, which is shite, but at this point I will take quite happily, the chance to go outside and do something different. But yeah, are you confident we'll get to the 26th of April, or do you think something will happen beforehand?
No, I mean, I don't think we'll open again. No, sorry, I lie. I think things like hairdressers and things like that will open on the 26th.
It better fucking do. I'm badly needing a trim.
In terms of retail stores such as mine, that won't open, and I don't think, or it may open, and it may be like 2 advisors in, and you know the rest is working from home. I don't mind it.
Still be in the house until like June or something.
No, I think we've already been kind of scheduled in, like with it pretty much confirming that we're here till December. So it is what it is. I mean, whether you get to go back to, you know, going to a retail store, I'll know, but it'll be a case of I'm here for the next, you know, fucking 8 months, whether I like it or not. So
on the positive though, it finally means that we can watch football together again, which would be a nice change.
I mean, just it's the wee things that you miss. It's not even the nightclubs or the.
Oh yeah, no, like fucking hell, like even though I do miss going out for like a pint of that, even like there was a golden period after the second lockdown when you could have like one folk round, and it was like good to like go to yours for the football for you and come round to mine and watch the football, or just like, you know, watch a film or just anything like that instead of just fucking walking. I've done so much fucking walking. I've done something like in the last month, I've done like over 100 miles or something like that. You know, I've done a fucking stupid amount of walking. And bear in mind, it's only around Stirling. There's not that much to do around Stirling.
No, that's it. But it's no, it's an interesting time. Hopefully, we get back and normality kicks in again. But it's going to be different when we open back up, regardless. You know, it's not even going to be remotely close to how living is just now. So, it's going to be an interesting time. Like my job, you know, it won't be redundant by any stretch, but it'll be. There'll be no need for a retail store very soon. I would imagine. So, these are the wee things.
Wonder how long it is before Stirling's High Street is completely gone.
I know. We'll be nothing shy of a fucking Howgate.
Oh God.
I know.
God.
And not even have a Marks and Sparks anyway.
No. Yeah, no.
It'll not come to that. It won't come to that. But
you fucking hope it won't.
Nah,
I mean,
it won't.
You see though, it's like wee things. Like, I mean, okay, like I know this is a bit different, but like the whole like Bruce Fields. I know that burned down, but also they took their chance with that. That's now turned into housing. You know. Do
you know the story behind that though?
Don't think so. Go on.
There was an insurance claim.
The owner of it set on fire.
Aye.
That bad.
Aye, so basically business was bad. They just lost the PGA store.
Oh, did they lose that?
American Golf, they lost the rights to it. And pretty much it was going to bankrupt Bruce Fields, so he tried to fraud the insurance. And was...
Oh dear.
It's for what I believe is he was very, very close to winning the claim until they found the source of the fire.
Can they print that to junkies? So I mean, weirdly, I should actually know more about this because this is my dad's job, is to check out fires investigation. But
yeah,
so I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works either. Maybe ask him. But basically, they found the source of the fire, and it looked like, what was it they call it, arson?
Yeah,
it looked like it was done on purpose. So the claim was postponed, but I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know if it's still under investigation. I don't know what the fucking script is, but I know a man who knows a man who told me.
You're big time.
Aye, pretty much. Aye. A customer I know told me about it, and it's quite interesting to hear because obviously we visited many a time.
I'm quite glad that's gone now because we don't actually have anyone now to do it.
No, it's a joke though. That's the thing. It's like one of these other restrictions where like obviously golf came back to the point where you can play now in a 2-ball. So if we wanted to go around a golf course, me and you could do that in Ebola. Would be the first time ever, to be fair.
No, we did do once, didn't we? I think we done pitch and did we do a par 4 at some point? I think we might have done once.
I don't know. No, we couldn't have because it's only par 3s. It was at Bruce Fields.
I swear, maybe I'm thinking so.
Have you ever been up to Bridge of Allan with me? Because if you'd been up to Bridge of Allan,
I've never been up to. I've only been Bruce Fields with you.
So I would happily go down as a 2-ball in Thayjamieallan. Really
honestly, after my fucking traumatic last time in Jersey playing golf, I'm not sure I can do it again. That was the fucking worst day, honestly, because fucking gyms. So for those wondering, when I stayed at Jersey, me and Jamie like to play a bit of golf, well, driving range when we can, but it's been a while since we had played. And Jim never plays golf either. He openly admitted he's the shittest player he ever has seen. But on that day, I had possibly the worst golf day I've ever had. Like I'm not good anyway, but I know I'm good enough to beat Jim. And that day, I just fucking tanked off a cliff, and I was raging.
I'll happily go in Thayjamieallan with you whenever you want.
Because you want to hump me as well.
No, just at any point. Yeah. Next couple of years, at any point, we can go there as well. But no, that was one of the things. Obviously, golf came back and stuff, and they were like, you can go to golfing ranges and stuff, blah blah blah. So you're allowed to travel to golfing ranges as well. So cool, no bother. So me and you, we hop into a motor, well, separate motors, whatever you want, is it, you know. And we go up to Clydebank, which I think is now the closest. Oh no, wait.
Well, you've got Kings Park, but I mean, that's members only.
Their driving range isn't allowed anymore.
Is it not?
No, so...
What about up at the uni? Do they still have one?
No, that's away. In fact, no, that's still there, but again, it's no in commission. We don't use it. Nice. So, no, the closest one's Falkirk. So, and you're not allowed to leave your council district, so it's like...
so we can go.
We're fucked anyway. But I'll happily go down to Thayjamieallan at some point, but...
I'll let you boost your ego by humping me.
Aye. I don't think it'll be that great, but... I mean,
it's not much achievement to beat me, but to be fair, anyone's a win.
But aye, that was the script we missed with.
But you're not worried though as well, like... I'm worried that I mean, Stirling in itself is meant to be like basically a midpoint between Glasgow and Edinburgh, but I'm just worried it'll just fucking turn into nothing but housing, and you know there'll be no entertainment left by the time COVID ends. Like it was already lacking before COVID. It's going to be really fucking lacking after it.
This place, although you don't want to admit it, thrives more than you would anticipate. Maybe, you know, nightlife wise, it's grim. Like we had 2 nightclubs, now we've got 1.
No, Dusk still survives.
No, Dusk is closed, didn't it?
No. It's survived. Part of it's getting turned into a restaurant, but the other part's still a nightclub. So it survives.
With the same cunt, with Adam in charge of it? Or?
I've no idea who's in charge anymore.
It can't be called Dustin because he had to liquidate that company. I don't know.
Maybe they're changing the name, but it's still going to be a nightclub there. Part of it is, at least.
Anyway, so we had 1 nightclub. Sorry, we had 2. We had 1 now. We might have half a club. Might have half a club again. So
I'm worried it turns into a Cape.
Cape,
for anyone wondering, is possibly the shittest establishment I've ever seen.
Opened, closed.
No, did I ever tell you about the first time I went in? So I was
you did that.
For the podcast. I was totally of age for anyone listening. But when we first went in, so like it was the only. It's kind of a club. I'm talking about the old days before like the restaurant got put in. It was kind of a club, kind of not a club. There used to be it's like shit sports or something. So that's a better way to put it.
It was like the one on the what's the one on King Street? What's that called?
The shop place.
Aye.
So that's a shithole as well.
Aye, so Cape was pretty much like that.
Yeah, that's where you used to go if you were underage. But I never done that because I was. I can't remember. I hope that's closed. That's the one place I hope got shut down.
Hate the bouncers there as well. Fucking.
Oh yeah, no. But yeah, at this place, so it was like kind of a club, kind of not a club, and it used to be the place to go if you were underage. And it was one of my mates' 18th, and we walk in. And this is how you know it's a bit of a bad club, because half of the dance floor is taken up by tables and chairs. But, you know, well, I was pissing down with rain. We all had coats on. It There's a table empty in the very centre of the dance floor. So like, right, perfect, over there, put down our stuff, go and get some drinks. As we were putting our jackets on the chair, we just suddenly see a massive bang off the table, and like all the glasses that are on it like fly off the ground and onto the floor. We're like, what the fuck just happened there? We look up and there's like a decking above us, and some lassie just lobbed her phone at us. And the response to this was, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else," and then had to run down to pick up her phone. Which sort of describes the run-ins that place gets. So now I'm on to Jack's, I think.
Yeah.
Strange decision, because they fucking move places so many times as well.
But no, to go back to your point, I don't think we'll turn into a waste a place. It'll always thrive, so.
Please God, please.
It'll be massive, like, but it'll definitely thrive.
I mean, just like you think about the amount of, obviously, I'm not saying ruin all Stirling's Greenland, right? And I know people will use that as an excuse to build houses on. But if you just do something, like, say if you opened like another, like, I don't know, fucking like sports facility like was planned a few years ago, they got cancelled, or you open like an arcade.
I was about to say, this place lacks an arcade, like a massive arcade.
Yeah, like, or
like, build like a Braehead size arcade / cinema / this
mini golf, you know, any of that. So.
Fling a mini golf, bowling alley, cinema, and arcade onto the one district, and you're laughing.
Thrive, absolutely fucking thriving.
100%.
But yeah, unfortunately, we're not quite at that point yet. Nor am I sure if we'll ever get.
I don't know why me and you aren't in the council, honestly. Like,
we did a fucking cracking job, mate. We did a fucking cracking job.
We'd have this place bouncing.
What's that? All pubs must show the local football, if you must.
We'd have this place bouncing, but I don't think it will go that bad. But we'll wait and see, obviously, because COVID can make or break businesses. So.
Before we move on, unless you had something that you wanted to discuss, I know we normally sort of save this for the guests, but you know, I found two weird stories that I wanted to go over with you. And if I remember, hopefully in the edit, I'll include the picture with this. But a guy got the word #Bants tattooed on his forehead.
#Bants.
#Bants. He'd done that because it's a good conversation starter. Now, aside from anything racist or anything like that, what is the worst thing that you could have tattooed on you on a visible place? What for you would be the one thing out of everything else in the world you'd say no to for like a tattoo on a visible part of your body?
Doesn't have to be anything, so.
Yeah, but like, what's like the worst thing that you could come on to? Because I mean, #Bants is pretty bad.
Well, I mean, anything racist for a start.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, nothing racist or offensive or that. Like, what would be like one word or phrase?
Not offensive.
Yeah, like what one word or phrase that isn't racist or offensive?
Alright, so like no swastika, nothing like that.
Yeah, no, nothing like
that. So a word that's offensive or that.
Something that you just hate tattooed. Would it be like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I would hate like Celtic tattooed on me. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Did you ever see that fucking that tattoo show?
Tattooers, aye. He got a Celtic on his ass.
I'm pretty sure he filmed it, didn't he, in the end? Or did it? Jerry
no,
the camera? Did he not? I can't remember.
No, I got it laser removed though.
I mean, I think you would, wouldn't you, in that position? Aye. I mean, fucking hell, could you imagine me with like a fucking everyone?
No, he didn't. You know what he turned into? You see the things out of Harry Potter with the
snitch, the
wee green head. Aye, they turned into that. It was actually fucking minted when they turned it into that, by the way. But that's what they done with it. It was fucking class, by the way. Because I seen it. I watched the follow up, and I was like, I wonder what he's done with this. And then the follow up was like him getting it. I was like, that's fucking amazing. That's so smart, by the way.
Fair play to you. Hope he's a Harry Potter fan.
I know.
You want to see, by the way, what the guy that got #Bants looks like? And tell me, because I mean, to me, as soon as I heard the story, no, I'll show you on like the camera here. But I have to say, this is exactly the type of person I would have imagined getting this type of tattoo. So can you? I don't know. Fuck, can you see it? Nah, you can't really see it well. I'll send you a photo afterwards. So the light's shining on it.
What's that happy though? Looks like something straight out of Falkirk.
Let's see where he is. West Sussex. No idea.
He had to be like Coventry or something like that.
He also as well has one of those wee X crosses like underneath his eye as well, just by chance.
Queer hawk. I think that. I think anything to do with Celtic or like Man U or Everton or something like that tattooed would be obviously torrid, but
that's the thing. Rather, because obviously Celtic's out of the picture, but if you had to Man United or Everton tattoo, you have to pick one.
Can I get something related to the club or just the name?
I don't know. Like, what are you thinking?
So, like for example, if you say right, you've got to get a Man U tattoo of sorts, and then I was like, right, cool, I'll get, Rashford tattooed on my arm.
Okay. So like cool. A player that you admire, right?
Aye, so you say to me, get Rashford like there. Would you do it? Or on your hand so it's visible?
I wasn't even going to say visible, but if you're good for it.
but the original question was something that visible. So so if it was visible, I wouldn't get it on my forehead, obviously. I'm not fucking plumb, but
you're not a hashtag bands kind of guy.
I say like got to be, showing. I would get Rashford in the bother, because he's I like Rashford. He's an honourable man.
Did I ever tell you when I was younger, I genuinely considered, you mind Daniel Agger for Liverpool? For those wondering, he used to, so also Liverpool's famous phrase.
His tattoos are amazing on his hands.
But he always used to have "You'll never walk alone" across his knuckles, and I genuinely considered doing that.
I would 100% do that. Right there, that was amazing. I can't do it, obviously, because of the coloration with Celtic, it just can't happen. So
no, you could do it if you done it red. They might then realise it's
it's still not happening.
No. Do you know how you fix that? Actually, you get the "You'll never walk alone," but you just get a Liverpool badge like right out there, in your hands. Then they'll ken. There'll be no confusion there.
But no, that's I would get something like that. I mean, Everton. Honestly, I couldn't see myself getting anything for Everton side of things.
The one thing that you can maybe work in is the sort of blue angle where Rangers. You can maybe try and trick someone into thinking it's a Rangers thing.
I mean, if I could
Blue Moon.
Is
that what the concept?
No,
like
that's City.
No,
Blue Moon.
Sorry, it's difficult to care about in a relevant club.
Exactly. Nah, I think I would struggle more with Everton because I like none of the players.
I like any Everton.
I could get Colombian Genius. No, I could get like the Colombian Genius and just pass it off as Alfredo Morelos for James Rodriguez.
Yeah, just fucking wait until Morelos moves to like some other team and then that'll be fun.
But he's still done bits for us. But like that's the only angle I could go with Everton because otherwise I do not like Everton at all.
Fair enough.
Right.
Well, moving on then. Other story I managed to find. So, a man who, and I mean, I think this sort of sums up the story because he kept himself anonymous for this. He says he's having to break up with his girlfriend after finding out she's not naturally a redhead. Which to me sounds like a bonus if you find that out personally. But
I mean, you're doing a disrespect to redheads. Some redheads are absolute darlings, but
I just like annoying them because I know a few. But he's saying because like he's claiming basically she liked him. They've been together for 6 months, and he always just assumed that she was.
I mean, fuck it, fuck her. She's a liar. Fucking get in.
No. Here's the thing, though, right? He never at one point asked her if she was a natural redhead. She just had dyed hair the entire time.
Got to go 50-50 with that, but at the same time, she's got to let that go. She's got to let that secret out. That's got to happen.
I said, like, what?
You're telling me in the 6 months they've been together, he's never complimented her hair or her looks, and she's came across her to go, oh, this isn't my natural colour. Like, you're telling me it took 6 months to that? Nah, pish. Get her gone.
Oh yeah, she's claimed she never was a natural redhead. Basically, she knew about the attraction to redheads after they started going out, which might be why she kept it dyed. But I don't know. It seems a bit much to me personally to break up with someone just because they're not naturally.
But at the same time, get rid. Fuck it. Have you seen Jess Glynn? Like Jess Glynn's a darling, but
I actually can't think what she looks like, to be honest. Give me a second.
She's a darling. She's a redhead. So I definitely don't mind them, but at the same time, if I was to go out with somebody for 6 months and they turn around and goes to me, I'm naturally a redhead. I'm not going to go, right, well, you're patched. Like fuck that, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what that is, right? He's looking for a way out of that relationship. And
Clearly.
And he's picked the smallest fucking thing to
like,
get
if you hit me, if you came up to me there and goes, oh, he patched his blood because she came out as, like, she's got a cock, fair enough. Like,
what, in the 6 months he didn't notice that?
Like, mate, I'll back you. Do you know what I mean? If you
she tucked it in somehow.
No, like, she's got a plastic vag, right? Fine, absolutely fine, mate. You do you.
You were lied to.
When it's here, just get a grip. You know what I mean?
Nah, I mean, actually, do you know what though? That's a good point though. Has she died like all her? Are you telling me in the 6 months she's never shaved in front of him, or like, yeah? She's
probably always shaved. That's probably the reason.
No, but that's the thing though. She will also have to like shave at some points, and he's just
but you can, like, you can hide that.
Even still, though, that seems a bit weird that he wouldn't have noticed in that time. But yeah, it's a bit strange. Yeah, that's all the news stories I have. Do you have anything you want to bring up before we finish?
No, but I do want to call out Ewan.
Do you want to say specific names, or you know?
No, I'm just going to say
we went through like 3 years of not having any beef with like anyone to do with this podcast. Now in the space of 3 months, we've been calling out fucking Bradley. We've called out Sam. We've called
fuck Bradley. No, Bradley's a wank, but like when you go to Sam's agreed. Bradley's done it, and you know there's situations, but Ewan. Get yourself together. Get a grip. I don't give a fuck if you're fighting the country anymore. I've had you on the podcast, mate. And I know you're hearing this. So get yourself sorted out. Get your act together.
Yeah, no, it's a bit disrespectful, I have to say, you know. We invite you on. You're the only guest that's, you know, not been available when we said for, you know, in fact, ever, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, all I'm going to say is, the next podcast you watch or listen to, could potentially have you in it.
And if it does, Jamie will then continue to insult him. And if not, Jamie will then insult him at the end of the podcast.
Aye. So you will be kept up to date, but you can get your act together. But other than that, no.
Listen, the good news is at least this year we have a big list of people to go through. The trouble is just trying to be able to do them at the specific times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll get around people eventually. And obviously, after this one, we've only got another 3 more, I think, on Zoom. And then finally, you and me will be together in the new
potentially, I might not want to come round to yours, but there's a chance.
Dirty bastard. I've set up a new studio. I've set up a new studio and everything.
We'll see what happens. But I look forward to it.
Yeah, well, until next time, potentially with you or not, I've been Liam Whyte.
And I've been Thayjamieallan.
We'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
We talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests. We're 2 Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes. Sitting and chatting.